Recapping all the big hitters, the Game Awards, The Last of Us Part 3 is rumored to be in development, Marvel Spider-Man 2 release date could be closer than we think, and The Witcher 3 is looking like a great way to play for the first time or hop back in for the 10th. All this and more on this week's episode of Checkpoint.
And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Checkpoint, brought to you by Strictly Casual, your number one show rounding up all the hottest gaming news stories of the week and discussing all the relevant topics you need to know about. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent DeSantis, joined today by the New York man himself, James Walmer. James,
Yo.
What's the school you're in? The
NYU.
Well, yeah, NYU, but like the NYU school
NYU
of
Wagner,
which is the school of
Public Service.
Got you. James, the New York City, NYU, School of Public Service. I got to come up with something epic like that. I don't know. We'll see.
You'll figure it out.
Audio listeners,
I trust you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/strictlycasual. Please hit us with a rating on audio platforms and subscribe on YouTube and audio platforms. Helps us out a lot. And on the channel, we have a couple clips that are ready to go live. We have things from the game or from the Comic-Con stream that still need to be edited. A lot of work that needs to be done to get videos out, but a lot of stuff that should be rolling out. Also, we recorded the Andor review with Hannah, who is from the Ray side.
Oh shit!
And she does awesome content, like Star Wars content on the Ray side, youtube.com/Ray side. So we'll have that video out next week as well, which I'm excited about. So
Cool.
That'd be great. Yeah, James, we had a huge. Last Thursday was gigantic, absolutely gigantic. It was the Game Awards 2022, and we had.
And you were there.
I was there
with Ryder.
We were running around, talking to people, shaking hands with God of War directors.
Yeah.
Saying hi to Ludwig. Who
and Blessing. You got a picture with Blessing. Had a little Twitter interaction afterward. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Blessing Adeoye Jr. If you don't know, he's just part of the Kind of Funny crew.
God bless him. So genuine. Like, what a nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm really sure. He really comes across as that way.
Like, there's a lot of people there and a lot of important people there to talk to,
right.
And just cool stuff, people to mingle around with. Some of which don't really want to chat and hang out, which is fine. I get it. Who am I, to walk up and like want to just like strike up a conversation? But Blessing engaged right away. Totally engaged right away.
Sweet.
Super cool. My big miss was not getting a picture with Greg Miller, who, James, I don't know if I told you this, but I walked into the bathroom and he was peeing, and I was like, bad time to approach Greg Miller. I was like, I can't. I'm just going to walk away to the other side of the bathroom and go pee because I really need to. Come back out. The guy's gone. I was like, this sucks. I'm walking to my seat. I see him sitting down at his seat, but he's way in the thick of the row. And I'm like 10 rows.
You can't go, hey, Greg.
No, you can't do that. So I'm walking to my seat, which is like 10 rows ahead. We had incredible seats, like really good seats.
Wow.
And guess who I freaking sit down next to? Valkyrie, bro. Valkyrie.
Holy shit.
I was like, oh my God. And Fusely, who were also presenters. So I got to chop it up with them for a little bit. Like,
oh, you were chopping it up with them.
Yeah, dude. I said,
holy
when
fuck.
I sat down, I'm sweating. I'm like, I got 2 routes right now, James. 2 routes.
Yeah.
One route is I go like, hey, a big fan of you guys. Like, can I take a picture? Like something like that. Or let's become best friends right now.
Cooler way.
Let's become best friends. So what did I do? We just chopped it up for a little bit.
What was the I want to know the plan. What was the initial conversation starter?
The conversation starter was there was someone that was sitting next to us that was in our seats first, and they had to move out of the seats because we had the tickets, and that started the conversation. It wasn't like a nudge on the shoulder, like talk about it. We talked about the person that was sitting in our seats before we actually were sitting there. So
you're just like, oh, I hate it when someone's sitting in my seats.
No, I was like joking around. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, it was cool. Okay. It was cool. And so yeah, that was
the live orchestra. Really cool experience.
Yes, very cool experience.
You got to experience the kid paying tribute to his rabbi, Bill Clinton, firsthand.
And one of his journey destinations on his way up was the seat in front of me and Ryder. So he sat in front of me and Ryder, like this was maybe halfway through the show for a little bit, and then he
Oh my
bounced off
god.
somewhere else, and he was
Oh my
already a weird
god.
vibe, and I didn't understand the weird
You're
vibe.
like, what is going on? Who is this guy?
I didn't get the weird vibe until he was on stage, and Ryder was like, "That's the guy that was right in front of us." Like,
You both knew he wasn't supposed to be there.
No, but it took halfway through the Elden Ring speech to realize that he was on stage. Like I was, people were freaking out the Elden Ring one.
He was like in the back. He moved up.
No, yeah, I know he was making his rounds up. I swear, he was like just bouncing
That's
wherever
crazy.
so the free seat, so that he was close to the front.
Oh my god.
It was wild. Yeah, that guy's on podcast now. He was the guy. Remember, we talked about this like 2 years ago. The Free Hong Kong thing at it was a Blizzard. Yeah, that was a whole thing at a tournament. This kid walks up, takes the microphone, and just starts shouting "Free Hong Kong," and they shut the tournament down. Same kid.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it runs deep, bro. This is the third thing he's crashed.
What was the first thing?
I don't know. I think the Blizzard thing was the biggest one, because that one sent like a lawsuit to being like that shut down a huge amount of their operations in Hong Kong because of it's like anti-Hong Kong speech or whatever, like it's all sorts of stuff. So that one had like a big ripple effect, where this one I felt like was just annoying. Like, what was he saying?
Yeah. There's no
he really
he's just doing it for clout at this point.
Yeah, he really committed to the bit and he doesn't have an accent in real life, by the way. He committed to the bit and went on a podcast the next day and talked about him crashing this. Stayed in character.
Whoa.
Anyways, it was stupid. There was way cooler things that happened at the Game Awards, James. Like what?
Let's talk about it. Do you just want to go down the list?
I don't want to go through everything. Just like give me some of the things you're most excited about. Let's talk about it.
All right, yeah. First of all, Jedi Survivor blew me out of the water.
We got grapple hooks. Because what's a good sequel without a grapple hook? Honestly.
That's true. But for me, it was the amount of gameplay variation that we saw, like between different saber styles, different combat styles. Like it looks like there's multiple different routes in terms of saber combat you can go down. Like you can be a heavy swinger with just the one. You could put into the two. I also saw the double, like the staff kind of configuration come back, the double-sided one.
You see the longer blade too?
Yep, the longer one with the kind of the cross guard, which looked really cool. Yep.
Yeah. God.
So that's really exciting for me. In addition, I think the biggest thing was DS2.
Death Stranding 2. But wait, there's more for Survivor.
Okay.
Survivor looked so sick. I mean, like at the Game Awards on stage, they had a back to tank. So like
sure.
It was like a fake back to tank or whatever, and then the screen came down and it matched, like the game image matched what was on stage immediately, and then it played the trailer. It was so sick. But like Cal is gonna get his ass whooped in this. It's just gonna happen.
I can't fucking wait.
And people are talking like, okay, I know I'm not the big cameo guy or whatever, but the story could take you places where you could meet other people, I guess, or are you looking for just a contained story with just him?
I just want a contained story with just him. I don't need a cameo. Like I think the first games and cameo, I won't spoil it for people who haven't picked it up yet and they want to go back and play it before this comes out. But like the cameo at the end was enough for me.
Sure, yeah.
I felt like that was good and it was well placed, well timed.
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of leading up to that. So
I don't really know his journey in this movie because 5 years has in this game. 5 years has passed since the last game, and then there's a book that's going to bridge that. That comes out a week before the game comes out, which is weird timing to me. It should be out like
gotta
now.
grind it.
Yeah. But like in the first one, it kind of seems like his quest is gonna be like, I don't know, finding other people like him and like putting together a temple. That's kind of what like a Jedi temple. That's kind of what it feels like at the end of it. You know? Yeah. So I don't really know what has happened in the last 5 years that is going to make
this points to a bigger Star Wars issue for me because I don't like. Obviously, you have goals for these characters, but if you have something that is sort of like, oh, we want to revive Jedi, you know at the end of the day that it's going to fail. Like, it has to. There's no way that it doesn't.
To revive Jedi?
Like, not revive Jedi, but I mean, like, to assemble Jedi and have a temple to, like...
Oh, it's not going to work, yeah.
Like, it's not going to work. Like,
no.
you can't have that work within the current Star Wars
which is
canon.
great. It's like
I guess
it's
just
the
it
whole
feels
Rogue One thing is they're gonna they succeed but they die, but you're still invested in like how it's gonna go. Same sort of like
sometimes if they do it well. Sometimes I
yeah.
feel like I'm just not invested because they don't do adequate storytelling through the characters that are involved in those. But I think this is if they do it right, sure, it'll work out.
Yeah.
But it also has the potential for me to go, oh, I really just don't care about his objective because it's inevitably gonna fail.
Sure. That's definitely a possibility. Do you remember last week when we were talking about Force Unleashed powers that could potentially be in this? We have a shot of him holding up a clone trooper, flipping him around and using it as a bullet shield, and I was like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's all I got on Jedi Survivor though. But good stuff.
We didn't see the gun.
We did not see the gun. I'm sure they'll save that.
Yeah.
Maybe the gun's maybe like a lesser role than we thought it's gonna be.
Perhaps.
I was already expecting it to be kind of. I mean, you have a lightsaber. Why do I don't really want a gun.
What if it just like hangs on your belt for the whole game?
And he just changes colors when you apply cosmetics to it.
Yeah.
That's what they talk about with deep customization.
Like you only use it in like certain cutscenes.
Yeah.
You don't actually use it in gameplay.
You get like the gold.
It's just a holster, you know, it's just like right there.
Sure. Get that Orion camo on the
sure.
gun. Yeah. Hades 2 got announced that I was pretty excited about. I haven't even played Hades 1.
Really exciting.
But I wasn't I don't know, while the trailer was playing, I wasn't expecting it to be Hades 2 until like the splash card at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it looks very similar to what was the previous game before Hades?
Hades?
No, before Hades. Oh my god, I can picture the artwork.
Syndicate. Transistor?
Was it? Yeah, Transit. It's the same like camera angle and
yeah. They did Transistor, they did Bastion.
Yes. So I don't know if I was expecting it to be Hades, but it looks great. It looks so good. I need to hop on and play Hades eventually.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump straight to Armored Core 6.
Yeah, do it. Tell me.
I forgot it's called Fires of something. But this game has captured my attention this whole week because there's been interviews with the From Software director. I forgot his name, Hidetaka Miyazaki. That's it.
Oh my god, dude. I was so close to shaking that guy's hand, bro, but he got warmed, and I felt bad. He wanted to enjoy his night. Same thing with Christopher Judge, bro. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, go for it.
But yeah, I really enjoy seeing the revival of this series. I was kind of like low-key hoping that it would go in a more Dark Souls direction. I've been following interviews with him this past week. People are asking him, okay, is this going to be a Souls game but with mechs? Like, how is this going to work? And he's very committed to a very classic revival of the franchise, which is very committed to mech customization, and you go on a mission and you fight a big boss at the very end. A lot of verticality, a lot of speed, very modular experience to make like your mech play style of whatever you want it to be, and then you go to the garage and you figure your shit out, go back out. But I can't wait to see how this game turns out. I can't wait to see some gameplay from it.
Yeah.
Maybe some mech overviews, seeing some weapons, seeing some stuff like. Thing with Armored Core in the past is it's very technical. Like there's a lot of numbers on screen. There's a lot of shit. Like you have to pay for your bullets in the other game. Like if you go on a mission, use your ammo, you got to pay for every bullet that you fired during that mission. You go back. The loop is you come back to your garage, you pay for it. Inevitably you go broke because you fire way too many bullets, and it's so hard that you can't progress. You can't make the money you need to, so you have to restart. So you're just continually restarting the game, making new mechs, experimenting until you finally break ground and have some progression and make the mech that really works.
I've been playing a lot of Gran Turismo with Brandon, my roommate.
Brandon? Cool.
And there is like, here's how I think they'll do Armored Core, because I think From Software appeals to much more people than it did. Like, I don't know how many. There's a lot more people playing From Software games now than there ever has been.
Right.
In Gran Turismo, there is a whole level of, like, extreme customization down to like tuning a spring to a certain pressure and, you know, every little thing you could possibly do. And I'm assuming that will be like something that Armored Core does for the mechs. But the question is, will they have preset things for people that don't want to do all of the customization thing? Because I think that's going to be a barrier of entry. But From Software doesn't really care about barrier of entry in any of their games.
They don't give a shit, dog.
It's hard to guess. It's hard to say.
I think people are going to be disappointed by this game. It's going to be another like it might be an Elden Ring thing where we have a lot of people jump in initially.
Sure.
And it makes great sales and people actually really enjoy it, but they might fall off, you know, however many weeks down the line. But you have your committed core group of your committed audience who really enjoys those style of games, and you have people who are willing to learn. They do it because we haven't had an Armored Core game in 10 years.
Yeah.
So we're going to have people like jumping on and say, oh, this is awesome. I really enjoy all these parts that I really enjoyed in Elden Ring. I really enjoyed in other FromSoft games that are kind of represented here in terms of like difficulty and trying to learn and, you know, kind of stumbling over that, hitting that wall over and over again in hopes of overcoming it. This is right up my alley as an avid like mecha big robot enthusiast. We got no gameplay from the trailer, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
What was Ryder's reaction? I want to know what Ryder was doing during this reveal.
Ryder, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Okay, so for every trailer, you know, this is like Ryder gets excited about everything before he knows what it is, which is great. God bless him for it. It's just that's how he works, and it's not like he's faking it. It's just he's genuinely in the moment.
He just likes being excited.
Yes, he's in the moment so much.
He loves being excited.
Yeah, and so. The trailer opens with like, I don't know, it's like these big wide shots with like some explosions.
Oh yeah, there's like fire. Yeah.
And he's looking at me. He's like, what's this?
He's trying to guess.
He's like, it's blah, blah, blah. It's blah, blah, blah. It's blah, blah, blah. And then From Software. And then Ryder goes, what does From Software do? I'm like, I was like, Elden Ring, bud. Like, Elden Ring, dude. He's like, oh, okay. Is it Elden Ring DLC? I'm like, no, I don't think so. And then, you know, it goes like the city, like a closer shot of a city.
Yeah, cityscape, and then the robots.
I was like, right when it said From Software, I knew Armored Core. I was like, it has to be Armored Core. And so the people were excited. Whereas,
yeah, a lot of cheers.
And then I was reading some stuff after that Armored Core previously, like, combined with all 5 Armored Cores, has sold less than a single Souls game, which is crazy. Like 6 releases. So the thought is that this game will probably outsell all of those combined with just initially, which is crazy. I wonder what From Software's expectation is of sales. Do they expect it to sell on a Souls-like level with their games? Or
they have to. They have that notoriety now.
Sure, yeah.
Right. They didn't have that before because From Software was a very niche developer before Dark Souls, and even when Dark Souls first came out, it's still like Bloodborne kind of really was the game that put From Software on the map for a wider audience, because even before then people knew Dark Souls. It was more of like not like a gimmick, but it was reserved for a specific audience. Or if you didn't love that game and you didn't love that difficulty because it had that reputation of being so damn hard, you kind of just played it for fun as like let's see how far we can, like, you know, like this is just the hard game, you know, that I'm just gonna like fuck around and like stream, and it's gonna be funny to watch me like try and fumble around trying to beat this game.
Which
like it is for some people. And so I think after probably Bloodborne, From Software has just skyrocketed, and they've had so many more consumers of the previous Dark Souls games, and I think they can ride that popularity. Now that Elden Ring sold as much as it did and it got Game of the Year, it's going to be able to hold that momentum through Armored Core 6. Does that mean that everyone's going to love Armored Core 6? No, I think it's really not going to be for everybody. In the same way Elden Ring was in a lot of ways.
Sure.
But yeah, I said that earlier, so I'd be redundant.
I'll still be so interested to see like Armored Core gameplay, and
I'll buy it because I'm a From Software shill. But
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention is the Phantom Liberty with the Cyberpunk 2077 DLC. I thought I
Oh,
had
with Idris Elba.
yeah, I thought I had a great trailer, Idris Elba. None of that leaked before, which is pretty cool. Like I was surprised.
Hmm.
Um, the story seems interesting. I don't understand. I don't really know where it'll take place because the ending of Cyberpunk 2077, there's 4 major endings to the game, and like, does my ending carry over to that, or like, do you know what happens at the end? Kind of.
I heard. Can I say what I think it is?
Yeah, this is spoilers for Cyberpunk if you don't want to
I
know.
heard you just spoiler. It's coming.
Okay.
You just blow up the city.
No, no. There's so many more. There's so much more. You don't blow
Okay.
up the city.
Go ahead.
I don't think
You
there's an
don't blow
option
up
to
the
blow up
city.
the city.
Okay.
There's like
No megaton option.
2 good options, 2 bad options type of things, but people like the bad options. I chose to let Johnny Silverhand take over my body because I was about to die. So you can choose either to sacrifice Johnny. You could sacrifice Johnny's chip and then it heals you basically, or you let Johnny take you over and then you play as Johnny through the end game. So your UI changes and everything. You speak like Johnny now. You don't speak like V anymore.
But you look like V.
But you look like V. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, throughout the story, you see how many things like Johnny Silverhand had going for his life, and it's the realization of like V has nothing. V is like a lonely, solemn character that has nothing to live for. So like by letting Johnny take over, it opens all these side quests and quest lines and stuff of like Johnny tying up all these loose ends in his life. It's great. I love it.
I like that.
So like, what is this gonna do? Like, am I playing as Johnny now? Through the end, does it save that question, or does it go back before the ending, like most of these freaking games, and you play between the endings?
And give you a specific.
Yeah, like
It gives you an ending.
it plays you, but no, it places you before the ending, like one chapter before, and then you do all the side stuff, and then you can play the ending again, and then it brings you back.
Oh.
We'll do that. I don't know.
Mm.
'Cause it's so definite to me. Like it's a definite ending.
Well, it's not definite because you go back
yeah.
and you tie up all your loose ends. You know what I mean? So you continue playing after
Yeah.
the ending.
Right.
It's post-game content, so it would just be more post-game content.
So maybe you do it all as Johnny. Or I would do it all as Johnny,
Maybe.
whereas someone else might do it all as V.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I like that. I'm sure that
Could have 2 different experiences there.
yeah. I really want to hop back in Cyberpunk, and play more. But when I hopped back in the last time, all the updates and stuff, they reset all the ability points and stuff like that. So you just have a bank of points to spend, and then the tree looks different, and it's so much better. God bless. But I was like overwhelmed. I was like, I forget what I really loved and what I really didn't love. So I'm just gonna wait till the DLC when hopefully that has like a better onboarding for older players. But very excited for this, and I will pay. I'll pay for it, even though
Okay.
I wish it was free, but I'll pay for it.
One more thing I want to briefly mention. It made me super excited that Dead Cell was getting Castlevania DLC.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
I'm sure
I've been
it'd be dope.
itching for a Castlevania title. And like this is like I think Castlevania really needs a revival in the modern space. I think it has a lot of potential to be a great like IP.
Yeah, it's got great.
And so
media
I think
around
this
it,
is
too.
just like a little like nod to the, to the franchise in a way that makes sense.
Right.
Without
Definitely.
giving it a full game. So I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm. I wrote God of War sweep, Elden Ring wins big just because God of War won a lot of awards, like narrative, performances, like everything like there. And then I think everybody knew that Elden Ring was gonna win. There was not a doubt in anybody's mind sitting around me that Elden Ring was gonna.
Really?
Yeah, like everybody knew.
Wow.
But like people are on their feet clapping, cheering when Elden Ring won.
It was very much that Elden Ring was the clout game of the year. Like when you think of most impactful games of the year, the one that everyone was talking about, it was Elden Ring.
Yeah.
That was the topic of conversation for months.
Yeah. And I think I agree. Like I was looking at my, I don't know. I was just thinking about it, that even though I loved God of War Ragnarok, I think it's so great. I think Elden Ring deserves that game of the year just because it feels different. Whereas God of War Ragnarok is more of 2018, but in a different way kind of thing and upgraded and stuff. Whereas Elden Ring felt like a completely new experience that I didn't even know I would like. I bought it thinking I was going to put it down in a couple days. Like when I put it
Did you platinum it?
Frick yeah, I platinumed it, dude.
Holy shit.
It's my
Yeah.
most played game this year. I got like 120 hours on it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
When are you going back? Then when you
I'm
turn
ready for
back
the
the clock to
Coliseum.
Dark Souls 3.
Okay, well, we'll see. I want to play Bloodborne first. I was waiting for that 60 FPS.
Don't play Bloodborne first.
I
Just
want
like
to.
I want to tell you to play Bloodborne first, but the 30 frames is killer. Like
Does
it's
Dark
so
Souls
bad.
3 have 60?
It does.
How random? Why?
It's newer.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I guess that makes sense.
It came out like 2 years after Bloodborne.
I remember I
Came out, like,
tried Dark Souls
2018.
3, and then I got to this castle part, maybe, 30 minutes into the game, an hour into the game.
Yeah.
There's 2 towers, bro, and I go left, I get effed up. I go right, I get effed up. But that was before I really put the commitment in with Elden Ring, so maybe I have the
Right.
dexterity for it now. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Death Stranding 2, another thing to mention. Beautiful trailer.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on, but it's beautiful.
No freaking clue. I re-downloaded Death Stranding 1 this week. I've been playing that a lot more. I'm on chapter 3
Okay.
now. Got some cool moments, but yeah, I don't know. I finally have a bike now. I can build bridges, so I really feeling like I'm moving up in the Death Stranding world. Less walking,
Okay.
more riding, which is awesome.
That's what we like to see.
It's a
Less
lot of
walking,
fun.
more riding. Unless we're talking walkable communities, baby.
Sure. Amen.
Where's the Death Stranding of walkable communities?
Maybe that's what
Get to the end of Death Stranding 2 and it's urban density. That's the whole message of the game.
There's urban planning,
And
James.
good public transit.
Sure. The game's all about public transit, dude. You got to build those public
Oh, yeah.
transits. Yeah.
Dude, that's what it's all about. Connections.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else to bring up here. Oh, obviously, Ken Levine's next game, Judas, which is from the BioShock.
That looks great. That looked really, really good.
Yeah, that looked crazy. We have
Final Fantasy 16 got a great
Oh, of
trailer that
course.
looks really, really good.
Justice.
Diablo 4 got a trailer. Yep,
Dude.
Justice.
I can't wait for Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta tell you, I saw one of our buddies at Game Awards working for Diablo 4. I'll tell you after.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Horizon Forbidden West DLC. Oh, Space Marine 2. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 got a gameplay reveal. And I was like, whoa, this is huge.
When's the last time we saw that game?
No, this is the reveal.
No way. We saw that.
And we did not see Space Marine 2.
Bro, yeah, we did.
No, we didn't. I swear to God.
I promise we have. We were watching. It was a Summer Games Fest thing or something. We've had to have. There was another trailer with 4 people, like the blue suits, the Space Marine thing. It wasn't.
It must have been a different 40k game.
God, they all look the same. Okay.
First ever gameplay footage is 4 days ago.
But was there a
or 7
trailer
days
before
ago.
it? Maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. I'll look it up.
Oh, you know what? Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 reveal trailer December 9th, 2021.
I knew we had seen it. I
The
knew.
Game Awards. It was the Game Awards last year.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Celeste.
Celeste.
Earthblade from Celeste
Yeah.
developers.
Good. I can't wait for that. Hellboy, which they didn't actually
got
show
no-
at the Game Awards. They showed that before it, like at a sizzle reel. So I didn't see it while I was there.
Okay. No gameplay. It was like 30 seconds or a minute long. It was really short.
Okay. Crime Boss. Did you see Crime Boss, dude? Looks like shit out of a 2007 PS3 game. Dude, it's Chuck Norris, Machete, Michael Madsen, Danny
Machete.
Glover, Vanilla Ice
Oh,
is in
shit.
it.
Wow. Oh my God.
And it's like a criminal underworld in Miami. And it looks like a PS3 era. Let's get some actors in here type of thing.
There's Transformers game that got a reveal trailer.
Yeah, that looked interesting.
Interesting. Horizon Call the Mountain DLC got a trailer.
Every day I think about how much I dislike Horizon.
Okay. I think this is all I have
That's it.
on Game Awards.
Blue Protocol,
Other
baby.
than
Catch me. That's my new game, bro. When that comes out, I'm all in on
what is Blue Protocol?
It's an MMORPG anime come to life. That's what it says.
Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of here.
It looks beautiful. Can't wait.
Your Genshin
Oh.
ass.
You playing Vampire Survivors on mobile, by the way? It's free.
No, dog.
Dude, it's good.
Oh, it's free?
Free on mobile, yeah.
Shit, if I do it.
I paid the $3 and got it. It's so good.
What do you mean you paid the $3 and got it?
On Steam.
Oh,
Also, mobile has a leg up because if you die, you can watch a 30-second advertisement and get revived. Ridiculous.
how are the controls for mobile?
Dude, the game, you don't click any buttons in the game. It's only WASD on the computer.
Oh
So
shit,
I'm
so
sure
it's just a little joystick.
I'm sure
you
that's
know?
it. Yeah.
Can I get a little gyro control? Just do this to turn.
You're on the train and James like,
I'm going like fucking.
dude, it's all vertical too. You don't even hold it like this,
Oh shit.
which is weird too. I don't really know. It's just moving around. All right, let's get into this clip.
Yep, let's do it. Yeah, are you taking it or am I?
I'll take the first bullet point, you take the second bullet point, and then we'll just chat about it.
Easy.
Here we go. It's 30:40. Got it. And The Last of Us Part 3 has apparently leaked via a leaker online that has a very reputable, I guess. So let's see here. Let's dive in. This comes from comicbook.com. The Last of Us 3 has gotten an exciting update from a reputable source. The Last of Us is one of gaming's most beloved franchises, despite only being a little less than a decade old. It was immediately showered with praise when it arrived on the PS3 in 2013 and has been released on every PlayStation console since then, along with a sequel for PS4 in 2020. While the sequel divided audiences, it was still strongly received by critics and ensured the series was here to stay. Not only that, but Sony is now adapting the first game for an HBO series, and all that kind of stuff. What else we have?
With all that said, it should come as no surprise that PlayStation really wants to make sure The Last of Us sticks around as a series. However, it's been unclear if or when we'd get The Last of Us 3. Thankfully, a reputable source who leaked details about the HBO series that have now been proven true suggests it's a priority for Naughty Dog. Twitter user and insider viewer Anon claim that director Neil Druckmann's next game is The Last of Us 3, whether it's called Last of Us Part 3 or The Last of Us 3, we don't know. And it's currently in production as we speak. It's also expected that Factions, the multiplayer spin-off for The Last of Us, will arrive first. It'll be a few years before we see The Last of Us 3, but it is coming. The status of Naughty Dog's supposed new IP is also unknown, and viewer Anon claimed that a different studio is working on a reboot of Uncharted.
Okay, give me your thoughts on this. There's a lot to pick out here. First of all, is Last of Us Part 3 something that you want currently?
No.
Why not?
I don't need more of. I feel like this story is finished. I felt the end of Last of Us Part 2 was great. It was very definitive. And I didn't feel like we needed more retribution. Like, because Last of Us is a game about retribution, revenge, the ways those things shape you, and violence. I felt that Ellie had to sit with her choices and her consequences in a way that had a lot of gravitas. And I think if we're going back to follow her story, I feel like it would kind of cheapen some of those feelings if we're gonna be like, oh, I changed my mind. I find a new thing to take issue with or find vengeance with, and I gotta go out and mess some people up again. I'm like, okay, like then the end of the second game is nothing.
Well, okay, I have a couple things to throw at you. Well, first, I agree that I don't really know if I want to return to a Last of Us Part 3 type thing. I think Factions is a great idea for having, hey, this is an IP that is well known. Here's the live service model that we want to try out. And The Last of Us 1's multiplayer is pretty good. The PS3 and PS4, I had a good time playing it. If they take that to the next level with, everything. Take everything to the next level and make that live service. Great. Awesome. Release that. But I really want to see a new IP from Naughty Dog. We've seen Uncharted and The Last of Us for the last however many years from then.
It's been almost 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to see what else they got. Because I know they got something. They're working on some
more than 10 years.
Yeah, seriously, a long time.
Yeah.
And they're handing Uncharted off to another studio. I think The Last of Us Part 3 could be a non-Ellie story. I think it could be a pre-Last of Us 1 story about Ellie's mom, or you could go with
but there's no conflicts
they could make
Last of Us 1 because there's no infected, there's no none of that at all.
Sorry. Between Joel and Sarah and pre-Joel and Ellie, meaning
okay,
somewhere in between there,
just a little just a Joel backstory type thing.
No, not even Joel. I really think it would be Ellie's mom or something. It's an unexplored thing that they're always hinting at.
Okay.
They have comic books out about it. They have in-game notes about it. There's dialogue about it, but there's no like,
Mm,
I don't know. I really don't know what it could be. Also, the other assumption is that it won't be an Ellie story. It could be an Abby story. Why not? Like, let's
sure.
go to Abby.
Yeah. I
And there
I
you go.
like Abby a lot.
Me too.
I forgot where she's left off in Last of Us Part 2.
Beaten and bruised, bro. Like destroyed. Her,
Yeah.
because I mean, most of her friends get killed because of Ellie.
Yeah.
She lost everything just as much as Ellie lost everything.
They have the fight, and then I forgot what happens after that.
They kind of just. Well, Abby leaves. We don't know what happens. We're out. Abby
Right, on the
goes.
boat, right?
No, or yeah, maybe
On
on
the
the boat
boat.
because Ellie
Yeah.
goes back and then it fast forwards and she has Dina's kid because
Mhm.
Dina and Jesse have
Yep.
they're raising that kid on the farm, which is pretty cool. But yeah, they leave Ellie off the great spot where she's still no, she walks off at the end, doesn't she?
She does walk off at the end.
Because she leaves Dina and Dina's pissed.
Yeah.
Ah, good game. I don't really
Great
know.
game.
Though I'm sure they have a good story that I'll be wrapped up in. So whatever, I trust
Yeah,
them.
like Naughty Dog is
Yeah.
a great writing studio.
Yeah, they have fantastic.
Is a studio with great writing. So
Absolutely.
I trust them to make something that's compelling.
Yep, me too. Cannot wait. If you want to know all about Last of Us Part 3 and everything Naughty Dog's doing, you can stick right here at Strictly Casual. If you want to listen to the entire episode, you can go on podcast platforms, type in Strictly Casual Checkpoint. It'll be a little blue box with yellow letters right there. Or if you want to watch the entire podcast, you can become a member right here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Beautiful. Okay, we got one more story here.
All right.
Bring us in.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Next Gen. Got its reviews coming in. It's got its whole next gen update, revision, all that good stuff. And as you would expect, it's like 10s across the board. 10s, some
Yeah.
9s. Metacritic at 97. Cross board, Gameblog 10. God is a Geek 10. That's a website I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
PSX Brazil 100 out of 100. Scream Rant 5 out of 5. Video Game Chronicle 5 out of 5. Xbox Era 9.5 out of 10. PSU 9 out of 10. Push Square 9 out of 10. Vincent, lead us into this next part.
Yeah, so I thought this was a super, super interesting article from Polygon. And it was titled The Witcher 3 Hits Even Harder in a Post-Cyberpunk 2077 World. I pulled out a couple of quotes here that I thought were super interesting. The massive political and interplanar story that happens within The Witcher 3 is still incredible and still manages to make the vast majority of other open world RPGs, most other games really, seem lacking by comparison. Geralt is a hero when he's around, and he'll move or shake as necessary, but his world is one not driven by a protagonist. It's a humble fantasy, or at least presents itself as one, and by contrast, Cyberpunk 2077 was so self-centered on part of the player that it seemed like people didn't even exist if they weren't within field of view. In that game, history happened so that the protagonist V could be there to inherit it. Geralt is almost anonymous by comparison, which is so
Really
sick
cool.
to think about. The visual updates offer a performance mode that locks the game at 60 frames per second, and it says they're good frames. And although I know that PC players have been living in this world for a while, the experience of kicking back on the couch and watching Geralt of Rivia Pirouette, while cutting drowners in half can't be beat. It's great outside of action too. Watching Geralt's face expressions at 60 frames per second on a big 4K television is mesmerizing. I downloaded this to 2 nights ago, and then it became available to play yesterday. And I played like 2 hours or so of it yesterday.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
It's great. It's great. I think
Really good.
I have not played Witcher 3 before, but I think the new camera thing is really awesome too, where it's like a closer camera on Geralt, so it feels it's not like
It's more
as wide out.
cinematic.
Yeah, it's cool. It plays very
Are you
nice.
talking about in interactions or talking about like as he's walking around?
Both. You can change it so you can change it so that it goes out when you're like riding your horse and walking around, in for combat, or you can stay in the whole time. There's a bunch of sliders and all that you can change, which is cool. But it's fun. I've just been doing side quests. I've done one main quest that gets you into the first town, and then I just took a bunch of job board things and been going around. I got a frying pan for this old lady and stuff. Just been killed a griffin. It's cool. I can't wait to play more. I'm excited. Obviously it hasn't like the story hasn't like hooked or anything yet because I haven't done anything, so I can't speak on that. But As someone who has never played The Witcher 3 before, this is really cool. Like I'm super excited to be playing it right now.
I think once you get to Novigrad,
Okay.
if I am remembering correctly, like the big city,
Mm-hmm.
then it really hooks you because you start really like it's almost like this heist that you plan.
Sure.
It's
Okay.
really fun.
Cool.
That's fun. You start to like you go into like Geralt's sides, like his backstory, other
Yeah.
characters that like remind you of you're like, oh, he definitely had a sexual history
Got it.
with Triss. You
Yeah.
know, like Triss is a big character
Sure.
in Witcher lore. So it's great. It's really
Yeah.
great world building. Um, I love the point about how Geralt feels anonymous by comparison. I think sorry, Witcher 3 is the game that taught me to not role play as the main character.
Hmm.
And this is what I mean by that. Like when I played Geralt, I tried to project myself onto Geralt,
Yeah.
and it didn't really work.
Hmm.
Because Geralt is he is a written character with a specific, like he makes
Yeah.
decisions that you can choose, but Geralt is not me. Geralt of Rivia has Geralt's own history,
Yeah.
his own decisions that he made in the past, like a very specific like type of perception.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I first played The Witcher and jumped, I'm like, why does everyone fucking hate me? You know,
Sure.
like all this stuff. But you have to understand like the history of who Witchers are and like
Yeah.
how he reacts. He's very like stoic. He doesn't really care about like the politics at play. He just is there to like get in and get out. Very kind of like that almost anti-hero type. Okay, you know, Grizzled, all those things. Yeah, it forces you to understand Geralt as Geralt and appreciate the history and context that he exists within.
And I still appreciate the choice of some stuff. There's like some things that he says where
Right.
you can choose how to say it. It's not necessarily going to affect the other person. And I know that, like going into that decision, but it's like, oh, I would like, this is great. I hope he says this, and I can choose that option, which is cool. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'll hopefully have an update next week of getting into it even more because I'm really enjoying it. So it'll be great. Next, moving on to random fun stuff, stories without a story. James, number 1.
Steam is here, bringing thousands of games to new Tesla Model S and X vehicles.
Wild.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Insomniac Spider-Man shows up in the Across the Spider-Verse trailer. Cool. Epic trailer.
Hogwarts Legacy will launch on April 4th, 2023 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and on July 25th, 2023 for Nintendo Switch. No next-gen consoles listed here.
Because next gen's regular release date, which is in February, I think.
Okay.
But they delayed all the next gen stuff till later on in the year because they can't get it running.
Right.
I'm sure.
I remember that. The team is looking forward to bringing you the game and we want to deliver the best possible experiences across all platforms. There's also torture in the game.
Torture. Yeah. As a student, you can torture. There's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Payday 3 is in development from a random tweet. I would have liked to see even a teaser at the Game Awards or something. Or
I like the tweet.
Just a screen flash. Payday 3's coming.
I liked the tweet.
Okay.
I think it's so like low effort. It's like, nah, we like it's a small studio. Yeah. They're like, we don't need a marketing budget. No. We have Twitter. And that's people respond to it. Yeah. So
it's true.
Spider-Man 2 is available to wishlist.
Yep.
Are we gonna get a reveal soon? People
maybe.
think we are. People as in like people, and this is what I mean by people.
Yeah.
People as in like hype boys on Twitter.
Sure.
People who are like dick riders.
Yes, your Pios and such.
God,
I love him. For Christmas, I brought Brandon Spider-Man and Miles Morales for PlayStation.
Oh, cool.
Like the combo pack, because he's never played him. Very excited to.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Does he know he's getting him?
No.
Awesome.
No. Yeah. Can't wait. It's gonna be great. I'll just relive it. Get to re-experience it.
Mm-hmm.
And James, what have you been playing to round out the episode?
I've been busy all week. It's been finals week, yeah. So I've been trying to carve out a little bit of time, like in the morning when I have awkward time slots that I'm like, oh, I can't really get zoned in to do homework.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play like a game of Overwatch, or I played like 40 minutes of God of War Ragnarok today. Last week
Beautiful.
I kind of complained about the combat in God of War, but today I realized I was sitting on like 2,000 points,
Oh, to spend.
like to spend on abilities. And I was like, why does this feel so fucking dull? Like it's just the same combo over and over again.
Yeah.
But like I didn't realize how useful some of these abilities would be in like juggling abilities. So I'll like knock someone up into the air and like use the blades to like,
Oh, it feels so
you know, flame them up and
Yeah.
cook them and then hit them a few more times and then throw them around.
And then there's mastery.
It's starting to feel really cool.
So like once you successfully land an attack 30 times on the skill tree or whatever, it becomes gold on the skill tree, and you can go in, and then when you do that attack, you can choose a status or whatever. So you can have momentum, damage, stun, freeze, or fire. Like it'll do extra of whatever you tell it to do. That way it's like, oh, I want this to do way more stun when I throw my axe. That way he'll be like stunned out, so I can get an extra couple hits on him instead of just like hitting him for a little bit of damage. You can plan all that out, which is really fun. Super fun.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So I played that and I jumped back into Sekiro. I restarted Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
I added that to my PlayStation wish list this week.
It's so good. I am better at it than I would have thought.
Nice.
I think I was really bad at the game when I first played it. I was still new to Souls games as a whole, I think. But now with Elden Ring being more like faster Souls-like game, I think I'm able to, you know, kind of attack it in a better way. There's some bosses that I'm like, damn, these just are really tough, and it's so punishing. That game is so like when you die, they take like half your money, they take half of your experience.
God.
So it's hard to like you really like can't do anything until you just beat them with like raw skill unless you go and farm.
Yeah.
Which I'm not fucking doing in a Souls game. Are you kidding me? I don't have the time to farm anymore. But
yeah, no farming.
There's a new Overwatch hero that I played as. It came out this week, and he's a tank, and he goes between two forms. Has hella health. He's fun. I haven't played a lot as him. I'm still a big Junker Queen guy. Yeah.
I hopped into Overwatch to play the new character, but I don't have him unlocked. It's like I gotta hit a certain point.
You can play him in casual play, I think.
Ew. Okay, I'll have to try.
Unless you just can't, and
I couldn't play him in not competitive.
In the training area?
No, I haven't tried training area. I'm sure I could in training.
I played him in the training area. I'm like, he's fine. He has a lot of range.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, but
yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Pretty good. Pretty cool.
I played Death Stranding and Witcher 3 this week. A lot of Death Stranding. And then what else did I do? I think I hopped into Destiny and played the first mission of the new season and then dipped immediately, but I like the missions that they curate. And
Are you kind of trying to gear up for Lightfall? Is that what's going on?
No, I don't really care too much about gearing up for it because I know I'll never hit the top. I don't play enough to ever hit the top. So it's like I'm not too worried about trying to grind up for it or anything. But the Lightfall trailer was really, really, really good. So that made me excited to hop in. But that's about it. I haven't really played too much else. I bought Sable and it's sitting there and I haven't played it yet. But that's it.
Cool.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Checkpoint, episode 142. We'll see you next week for episode 143. And then after 143, break time, I think, because holidays.
Yep.
So it's just like it'll probably be 2 week of maybe one. I don't really know. We'll see when we get
I'll be back home for next week.
Okay.
Which means no microphone.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll text about it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.